This is the beginning of Cosmic Fire Webinar Commentaries number 27A, Paths of Higher Evolution Compilation, page 108. And we are really rolling along here in discussing the path to Sirius. Here's the Archaic Stanza. You know, I enter this with trepidation. First reading it, and then thinking about it together, and then reading it again. The mysterious laws of the sacred hidden fire withdraw their thought, emerge from meditation, and all that is between the first and third is lost to sight. Naught is, sound dies away, the words are lost, for there is none to hear. The colors fade, and every point grows dim. The ocean passes into quietude, the mother slumbers and forgets her son. The father, too, retreats within the unknown place where fire lies hidden. The serpent stretches forth inert. Its coils smother the lower fire and choke the sparks. Silence reigns. The absent laws forget the worlds and play at other games. All passes into nothingness. Yet still the laws themselves remain. The mysterious laws of the fivefold force unite their thought, sink into meditation deep, and link the first and third. The world emerges, and rushing into forms prepared, pursue their cycles. Okay, the 12 pointed play their part and are the result of the communion of the one above the sun, with one of the 7 wives. The master of the sacred heart is he who builds a path between the sphere whereon his last lot is cast and the great monastic orb. He builds it knowingly, calling in the aid of points of blue. These emerge from the heart of one of the 7. These he bloweth upon, and they find their place as stones in the one way he constructeth, for the treading of the many, as they wend their way through mind to mind, and thence to understanding, Manas to Mahat, and thence to Buddhi. This is either inserted by Alice Bailey or by the Tibetan. Well, shall we just leave right now? Just leave this for another time. Well, all right. I have made all of my disclaimers, right? So if someone disclaims so much, why should they even attempt? Well, it has to be attempted. The mysterious laws of the sacred hidden fire withdraw their thought. So, we're talking about pralaya. This is Archaic Stanza. By the way, I think we should find out what Archaic Stanza this actually is. So this is on Treatise on Cosmic Fire, page 1274, and it's Archaic Stanza number 77. Interestingly enough, interesting numbers when you think about the 7, the 77, and the 777. So, from Archive 49, how many archives are there? Something is known. All is known somewhere, don't you think? So this is we'll call this number 77. So there are mysterious laws, and no, that's not going to work. 77. Well, it just doesn't want to work. But here it will, and we will transport it to this point and see if we do any better. And we did. Mysterious laws are beyond our solar system altogether. Of the sacred fire out of which all things come, let's say, okay, I want to have this, right, mysterious fire from which our solar system comes, and the mysterious laws of a cosmic nature above our solar logos. The mysterious laws of the sacred hidden fire withdraw their thought in preparation for meditation. No, in preparation for obscuration, for pralaya, for obscuration and pralaya. And they emerge from meditation. Now, have they been meditating all the time? Are there those... excuse me. Pardon me. Are there... Oh, well, now that I'm no longer choking here, I think I'll be able to say something. I did leave the other recording on, so it's filled with ghastly sounds. But anyway, the mysterious laws of the sacred hidden fire withdraw their thought. Are there those who, during a manifestation, continue meditating and sustain the manifestation through meditation? They emerge from meditation, and all that is between the first and third is lost to sight. Well, it's as if they really are sustaining. They really are sustaining the sun, which is that which occurs between the first and third. So what can we say? The first is spirit, and the third is matter. At least that's one way of looking at it. And all that is between the first and third is lost to sight. Naught is but for whom? As far as I can see. Okay, and that's a nice qualifier, don't you think? As far as I can see. Right. As far as I can see, which is not very far, but okay, it's something. As far as I can see, as far as I can see, as far as I can see. There we go. As far as I can see. This is not about cosmic pralaya. Not about cosmic pralaya. This is about our solar systemic pralaya, or maybe pralaya within our cosmic logos. It's not universal pralaya. It cannot be. Not universal pralaya. But it is a pralaya. Naught is. Naught that was is. Naught within our system is, or maybe in a slightly wider system. Sound dies away, the words are lost, and these are the formative words. For there is none to hear. Well, this sounds very much like the beginning of the secret doctrine. Where are the, what are they called? Olanu. Well, there is none. There is none to hear. As a matter of fact, it would be good, yes. They are in a state of abstraction. But is abstraction without activity? Not in this case, we will see. Now, let's go to this place, if I can find it, documents and secret, where are the ahi, secret doctrine references. No, that's not it. That won't do. Secret doctrine in Word. Let's see, secret doctrine and secret doctrine Word. There it is. So we'll look, first at the volume 1, and I think I know what we'll do. There's going to be a better way to do this. I will go here into a little thing that I call memorization. And I wonder if I find it here. Not here. Well, I'll spare you this. And actually I found it quite quickly, because I had been memorizing these things. Interpretation is another thing. But okay. The eternal parent, wrapped in her ever-invisible robes, had slumbered once again for 7 eternities. Time was not, for it lay asleep in the infinite bosom of duration. Universal mind was not, for there were no ahi to contain it. The 7 ways to bliss were not. The great causes of misery were not, for there was no one to produce and get ensnared by them. Darkness alone filled the boundless all, for Father, Mother, and Son were once more one, and the Son had not awakened yet for the new wheel, and his pilgrimage thereon. And then other beings ceased to be, the 7 sublime lords, and the 7 truths had ceased to be, and the universe, the son of necessity, was immersed in paranishpana, to be outbreathed by that which is and yet is not, naught was. The 7 causes of existence had been done away with. The visible that was and the invisible that is rested in eternal non-being, the one being. Talk about paradox, right? Alone the one form of existence stretched boundless, infinite, causeless, in dreamless sleep, and life pulsated unconscious in universal space throughout that all-presence which is sensed by the opened eye of the Dhamma. But where was the Dhamma when the alaya of the universe was in Paramartha and the great wheel was Anapuddaka? Let's see, is there any more here? Maybe. No, there isn't. Well, you get the idea. Naught was, right? So, going back here, naught is, but in the secret doctrine we have a we have stanzas that could apply to our solar system, but we also have stanzas that could apply to the entire universe and the Mahapralaya, the great universal pralaya, but that cannot be what this is. I think not. Sound dies away, the words, the formative words are lost, for there is none to hear. Now that is quite a reflection there, of what we just read. The colors fade and every point grows dim. And what are the points? What are the points? And every life is a point, is it not? Every point. So every life is really a point, and all in cosmos there is but one point, but these particular points grow dim. The ocean of what? The ocean of matter, as Mula Prakriti passes into quietude. But of course, look, well, this is something I brought up in question when dealing with the infinitization book. From the time Father and Mother united at the very peak of the universe, so to speak, the point of all origin, was there ever again any pure Mula Prakriti? Or were there simply grades of matter which were not the pure source of all objectivity. So it doesn't really make any difference. I mean, there can be this matter permeated by spirit, yes, but of such a non-formal type that it might as well be Mula Prakriti. It plays the role of Mula Prakriti for each one of the beings coming in and out of it during the duration of the entire universe. So something Mula Prakriti like the ocean is it the matter is of matter as Mula Prakriti, or let's say, or if not pure Mula Prakriti, then something which is permeated by spirit and represents Mula Prakriti. It was a subtle thought, and the idea was once spirit has engaged totally with Mula Prakriti, father and mother in engagement, is there ever again in any particular cosmos the pure Mula Prakriti? But anyway, whatever it is that form arises out of, it passes into quietude. The mother slumbers and forgets her son. Well, we begin, right here, the very first thing in the stanzas of Xian. The eternal parent, wrapped in her ever-invisible robes, has slumbered once again for 7 eternities. It's filled with paradox, because how can you number eternities if they're really eternities, if they mean forevers, as it were? But we can try to, we've tried to solve some of those paradoxes elsewhere, and it's not important to get into them right now. We just need to fathom this. All has passed into quietude, and there's this ocean of something that represents Mula Prakriti, if not the pure thing. And it is that out of which all new forms will come. When the father and mother again engage, and the son is produced. The mother slumbers and forgets her son. The father, too, retreats within the unknown place where fire is hidden. And so this is the higher planes above which the higher planes, let's say, which are above any manifestation of the kind in which the father was engaging. Now, think of it, what happens here at death. The solar logos, think of it this way. He ends his incarnation, and in the field of matter in which he was working, which is the mother field, he has withdrawn all stimulation, but he doesn't disappear, does he? He goes into his egoic lotus state, just the way the human being does after death. The human being works his way through the various vehicles, the vehicles disappear, and a kind of pralaya supervenes in which there are no elemental lives. All is withdrawn, abstracted into the human egoic lotus, and here too, all is withdrawn and abstracted into, let's call this the solar egoic lotus. There are no more lower forms, and the reservoir, mother as the reservoir, is no longer engaged in supporting the forms. Mother, why not spell it? As the reservoir is no longer engaged in embodying the forms which the form builder, the sun, requires. So all returns to the reservoir of life, all returns to the reservoir of life. And we say that not from the solar egoic point of view, naught is. Now, I'm taking this as if we're not dealing with the cosmic utterly universal pralaya. It's just too much. There's no way we could deal with that. I'm dealing with something much closer at hand. So the Father has retreated into a much higher plane where the fire which makes creativity possible lies hidden. Okay, the fire of being which makes it possible for being to descend to manifest. Now look, we're not getting rid of the soto-logoic monad, are we? Not by any means. That soto-logoic monad remains. It's not the Mahapralaya. The egoic lotus remains. It's simply a death. It's the death of a soto-logoic incarnation. At least for the moment, that's the way I'm interpreting this. The serpent, of matter, stretches forth inert. So the serpent, shall we say, of matter, of mother. There are many serpents, of course, but here we do have the serpent of matter, and it is inert, it is unstimulated from above. It is not stimulated from above by Son and Father. Its coils smother the lower fire and choke the sparks. So the sparks are the sparks of life which had worked within the serpent of matter. Now, I don't think this is the stifling of the monads exactly, nor is it the stifling of the egoic lotuses, but it is the extension of the egoic lotus of the soto-logos can no longer express in the lower serpent, which is matter. Silence reigns. Well, if this was the true Mahapralaya, then silence would indeed reign. If this were the true Mahapralaya, well, why not just write it out? Mahapralaya, then silence would indeed reign. But if this is just the silence of the uninformed reservoir, let's call it this, the silence of the uninformed, literally, reservoir, then there's always going to be the hum of certain particles and atoms. But the silence of the words descending from the soul certainly reigns. Now, if I make a mistake here, and we should be interpreting this in terms of Mahapralaya, then indeed silence reigns. The absent laws, how many of them? Were there 3 or were there more? The mysterious laws of the sacred hidden fire withdraw their thought. Well, they are the sponsors of creation. And they are the sponsors of solar, we can call it sponsors of solar logoic creation. I'm interpreting this so far on the solar logoic level. And, what happens when our solar logos fades out of incarnation? There may be some kind of residue. There can be some old moon or some burnt-out vehicle, because we're not talking about the obscuration of all of space here, I think. The absent laws forget the worlds and play at other games. And this, of course, reminds us that the universe is play, and there are, let's put it like this, many playgrounds. And this one is a higher one and is not a solar systemic playground. You kind of ask, well, what do you do when you're between lives? Do you do anything? Can you do anything when you are in the egoic lotus? Do you immediately return to incarnation, or are there activities on the higher mental plane for the man and also on the higher mental cosmic plane for the solar logos? All that had been passes into nothingness, yet still the laws themselves remain, and these are the origin of the creation which has been and which is to come. Well, if laws can be high beings, it's a general term. They can be solar angels, but not in this context, or planetary logoi, or solar logoi, a number of them. They are the higher beings altogether. And they are angelic beings in a sense, but then these higher beings are as much angel as man. They are that which is out of incarnation and in the fire, or in the fire which sponsors creation and which becomes creation in a way. The mysterious laws of the fivefold force unite their thought. Okay. Well, now, fivefold force. These could be, all I can say is what could be. When I see the number 5, I'm alerted to some Syrian influence. So let's say Syrian influence. Okay. We may be talking about the relationship of these may be relationships within a cosmic logos, and we have solar logoi abstracting themselves within a cosmic logos. There is a cosmic logos in which, I believe, 7 solar systems, of which ours is one, in which both Sirius and Sol, our solar logos, play a part. But the mysterious laws of the fivefold force, now we remember, on the path to Sirius, there's that, no, that's not there. But anyway, this is monastic being, and those who go to Sirius become these sparks of, of Mahat? I forget how it's put, sparks. Let's see if we can find that. We'll use the 2 words, sparks, Mahat. And there are none. Okay. So it is something else, isn't it? Mahat and spark. No. Well, it's something like that. Units of Mahatic electricity, they become that. So anyway, I'm tipped off in a way to possibly the emergence of some Syrian influence and of some great lives on Sirius. Mysterious laws of the fivefold force. Let us see. Can these be great lives on Sirius? Unite their thoughts. Sink into meditation deep. And link the first and third. Well, what we've had. See, maybe these are the same laws as we have just talked about, who are playing at other games. Maybe these are the same laws what did they do here? They withdrew their thought. They emerge from meditation. They are no longer in meditation, and they allow the pralaya to occur. Okay. Well, these laws may be in connection even with our solar logos. They are of the fivefold force, and this suggests, remember the fivefold solar angels? Well, these are much higher correspondences to those. there's something about the solar angels which are fivefold. Maybe it has something to do with the fivefold nature of the previous solar system in which they became men and then went on as graduate human beings to the path of Sirius, to that great monastic orb, whose soul ray is probably the fifth. So there is a fivefold force. It's a creative force. It's a Brahmic force. When we deal with fivefoldness, we are dealing with Brahma, and thus with creativity leading to manifestation, because it is on the five lower planes that manifestation really occurs. Those five lower planes are keyed to the third aspect. So what we've had here, a pralaya has occurred. Is it the pralaya of our solar logos? That is the question. And these mysterious laws, well, with fivefoldness we have again the possibility of creation, right? Because the highest two always remain absconded, hidden, esoteric, non-descending, at least maybe until the end of time. But the two are above, and the five are entering into Brahmic manifestation. So with whomever or whatever these laws are associated, whether with Sirius or our solar logos, they are awakening, they unite their thought. So they are re-entering into meditation. And when meditation ceased before, the worlds disappeared. So the implication, our worlds are sustained by meditation. They sink into meditation deep and link now the first and third. The link between the first and third was discontinued, and now spirit and matter are re-linked. The worlds emerge, and rushing into forms prepared pursue their cycles. Now, forms prepared, and this is where I come to the idea: did Fohat prepare these forms long ago, and did they remain as part of the reservoir? I mean, these are the tiny forms of matter. So Fohat does work with Mula Prakriti and create these tiny forms which are material forms, and they're molecular in a way, or at least on the first planes, the atomic planes, he does this. And then from those all forms can be built. But where are the forms prepared? Well, maybe forms are prepared in meditation by the mysterious laws. Who are these? How many are there? And we're not told how many there are, but enough to create a creation. And they have the fivefold force, so, you know, the solar angels are creators. The number 5 is connected with them, and they make possible incarnation. Well, here we have an incarnation which is about to happen. And again, a creative agency is at work. They come out of the fire. I come forth, and from the plane of mind I rule. Ah, there's the connection between the solar angels and the second unmanifested creative hierarchy. Second unmanifested creative hierarchy. Aries. I come forth, and from the plane of mind I rule. But that's an aside. So All right, going on. Never knowing what one's going to see next, right? What one will encounter. The 12-pointed play their part and are the result of the communion of the one above the sun with one of the 7 wives. Well, this is an obscure reference, but, you know, could it be that the 12-pointed are the monads? The monads are called the higher 12. You know, 3, how does it go? This consummation, the three hearts are involved in this consummation. Let's see. Let's look here. I forgot that for a moment, but I want to look at the esoteric healing. Here it is. Esoteric healing, and we're going to look here at let the healing force energy, let the healing energy, heal in, energy, descend, right? So here it is. Here it is. Let the healing energy descend, carrying its dual lines, etc., etc. The heart revolves, 2 hearts revolve as one. Here it is. 2 energies achieve this consummation, and the 3 whose number is the 12 respond to the greater 12. The life is known, and the years prolong. The monad is the life. This is page 708. Esoteric healing, page 708. And it gives us the sense that the monad is 12-fold. It's certainly connected with Pisces, which is the saving sign. The monad goes forth to save as a lord of ceaseless, persevering devotion. So 2 energies achieve this consummation, and the 3 whose number is the 12 respond to the greater 12. So the 12-pointed, who are they? I think they're the monad. At least the 12-pointed with the 7-fold jewel. And that relates to the 19 of the path of the planetary logoi. Remember that symbol of the path of the planetary logoi, the elongated arm with 7, and the transverse arm with 12, the 19 of the path of the planetary logoi. The path of the planetary logoi. So 7 plus 12. Within the monad, there are 19. 7-faceted jewel and a 12-pointed, the 12-pointed star, which is the transverse arm. And the monads are an aspect of the planetary logoi. They are tiny cells within the planetary logoi. Anyway, there are certain connections here which I think would bear going through. The 12-pointed play their part and are the result of the communion of the one above the sun with one of the 7 wives. So, okay, which one? So, I think I understand this. This is Bennett Nash, Al-Qaid, 2 names for the same thing, in the Great Bear. Well, no, maybe not. Let's do it this way. Mizar and Maya. In other words, from the Great Bear, the 2nd star, Mizar, the one above the sun. From the Pleiades, maybe the one who carries the 2nd ray, maybe it's Maya. Although with such a name, you know, often think of the 3rd ray, but I think Merope is a better correspondence to that. And they are producing, well, they are producing the monads, it looks like. Producing the 12-pointed, or the monads. Well, the monad, in a way, comes from the very heart of the universe, from the very point of origin, but there's something about, let's call this the re-emergence of the monads. Now, you know, when DK has a chance and will either interpret these stanzas or see that someone who knows can interpret these stanzas, then we may find that this is not correct, but okay, for the time being, we can call it that. The Master of the Sacred Heart, and let's call Sirius well, we can call the Sun, the Solar Logos, is the sacred heart, because he is a heart center in a cosmic logos, right? And his great energy is the second ray, is he who builds a path. So it's the Master connected with the sacred love, wisdom, energy of the solar logos. He's on the 246 line. Is he who builds a path between the sphere whereon his lot is cast, and this time this is the Earth, although we could say that it could apply to any of the planets in our solar system, and maybe this stanza does, or archaic stanza does, we don't know. And the great monastic orb, well, that is obviously Sirius. Okay, so he builds it knowingly, calling in the aid of the points of blue. These emerge from the heart of one of the seven, the Pleiades. Well, the blue-white stars of the Pleiades, and are these devas involved in helping to build the path to Sirius, the points of blue, because there is a strong Buddhic connection here with the Pleiades, and I'm glad that the Pleiades was inserted there. From which one of the Pleiades? Is it the fourth Pleiad? And I have speculated that maybe that represents two of the stars, Asterope, and there's Asterope there as well. They're part of a, looks like a double. Okay, it looks like, you know, when we're dealing with devas, with building, we must think of the devas, and they are the builders, and a great antichironic path is being built, and the master, or Chohan, on the fourth path, path to Sirius, is building. And so even when we build our own antichirana, a Devic substance is involved, is it not? When we go through the process of visualizing and intensifying, visualizing, projecting, so forth, in any bridge, devas are involved. That's the general principle, okay? In any bridge, devas are involved. Okay, now, these he bloweth upon, and they find their place as stones in the one way. Well, bloweth upon, which means somehow stimulates with the breath, or life, or the will, energizing. These he bloweth upon, and they find their place as stones in the way he constructeth for the treading of the many. So those on the path to Sirius now are preparing for the time when the great majority of human beings will tread this way. So it's an act of service. In other words, these cosmic paths, treading these cosmic paths, is an act of service, right? So treading these cosmic paths is an act of service. He's preparing for those who come after. That's always what we do. We help those here, and look at how the Tibetan has prepared for those who came after, as they wend their way through mind to mind, and thence to understanding. So see how the blinding works. Two words, the same, meaning different things, though really the same thing in a way, though a higher and a lower category. From manas to mind, to Mahat, and thence to Buddhi. Manas is, well, we can call it this. Manas is systemic mind, Mahat is cosmic mind, and Buddhi, well, it's going to be cosmic Buddhi in this case. Though, I mean, the master will have built in the Buddhi, of course, in order even to be able to take the sixth initiation. This we learned before. Well, you can see the depths there, can't you? You know, this is an attempt to understand this, and what I'm going to do, of course, is I want to read it again, naturally. Yes, I think the laws, even the planetary logos, are as laws. But there are, you can think even the solar logo in the seven solar systems, of which ours is one, are laws. They don't all abstract at the same time, do they? I mean, if our sun, as a heart center within a cosmic logos, abstracts itself, can it still play its chakric function within a cosmic logos? Maybe its inner principles are still remaining and its inner functions are still remaining. It just cannot be outwardly functioning as a heart center. Just the way our own, you kind of wonder if the rhythms of a cosmic logos determine the death over time of the seven stars, which are as the chakras of this cosmic logos. You know, it takes a while before there is a rising of the lower to the higher. Obscuration takes time in the case of a solar logos. It will take even more time in the case of a cosmic logos, and different will be the periods in which the different chakras abstract themselves. But if our solar logos goes out of incarnation, does that mean that the cosmic logos is in the process of abstraction? Because eventually it must be only the head center of the cosmic logos which remains. And what is that head center? Is that head center Sirius in some way? Of course, we get into astronomy here and the fact that more powerful stars seem to abstract themselves more quickly. Can a function be upheld when the physical aspect is missing? When there is abstraction of a solar logos and a solar system seems to disappear, will the etheric system last for any time, long enough to fulfill the ongoing function of the chakra that he represents? Well, you know, this is way beyond us once again, but when we're presented here with issues concerning pralaya, I think we really have to think of this as solar logoic pralaya, now, of course, it is also possible that we can think of a planetary pralaya as well. But I think there's too much going on in the solar system after our Earth abstracts to talk about a space where nothing is happening. I think with the solar system, systemic pralaya, we have a better scenario. It could be, you know, we have different kinds of pralaya. We have planetary, solar pralaya, and also, you know, many different types of pralaya, galactic pralaya, and so forth, until we reach the universal pralaya. And in all these stanzas, something about any of them can be indicated. But what's the one we're targeting here? I think it's the relationship of Sirius to our solar system. And, you know, the path to Sirius existed in the previous solar system. This should be stated. Okay, apparently it did. The path to Sirius existed in the previous solar system. But that solar system came to an end, and so did the paths from different planets to Sirius. And if Earth was there, then the Earth path to Sirius also came to an end. Of course, we learned that there must have been a path to Sirius in the previous solar system, because somehow from that system men went forth who became solar angels. Now, did the men who went forth to Sirius from the previous solar system come from an earlier incarnation of our Earth? Well, maybe not. But somehow they went and they became solar angels. So there was, from some planet, a path to Sirius. From some planet, there was a path to Sirius. And then when the solar system dissolved, the path was ended and would have to be reconstructed in the present solar system, which followed the previous. So I think we're talking about the ending of the previous solar system and the reconstruction of the path to Sirius. That's what it seems to be about. And the laws, whatever they are, great creative agencies, what makes it possible? Okay. Right. Laws. LHAS. Higher correspondences to solar angels, which make it possible for solar logoi to reincarnate, just as solar angels or lesser laws make it possible for man to reincarnate. All right, that's something. Maybe there's a correspondence there, I think. All right, let's. We're reaching the end of this program. Completely justified in doing so, I think. Oh, the sacred hidden fire, so interesting. Withdraw their thought. Well, this is like the soul. Yes, I think there may be something to this. This is like the soul withdrawing its attention from the human personality, and the personality dies and fades away. The word of death is sounded. So these mysterious laws, in the secret doctrine, the laws are correspondences to solar angels who look in on the possible creation of man and find out, oh, these forms are not good. Time. It's not time for us yet to bestow manus into any lower forms. The forms are not ready. Well, these higher solar angels might be connected with Sirius. Okay, a few more things are coming into focus here, right? These higher solar angels, and every solar logos has his own solar angel, we are told. Their solar angelic higher correspondence may be breathed out from Sirius and may be associated with the solar logos in the same way that the lesser solar angels are associated with the human being, or the human monad. Well, I think there's a correspondence there. Why there should be greater solar angels intervening, it appears, and associated with our solar logos, is hard to tell. But it does seem to be a higher correspondence. So let us, with those thoughts in mind, read this. Again, I always like to round off by reading it because it's without interruption, right? So it's stanza number 77 from Archive 49, The Path to Sirius. The mysterious laws of the sacred hidden fire withdraw their thought, emerge from meditation, and all that is between the first and third is lost to sight. Naught is. Sound dies away, the words are lost, for there is none to hear. The colors fade, and every point grows dim. The ocean passes into quietude. The mother slumbers and forgets her son. The father, too, retreats within the unknown place where fire lies hidden. I must say, that's into the solar-logoic causal body, I suspect. The serpent stretches forth inert. Its coils smother the lower fire and choke the sparks. Silence reigns. The absent laws forget the worlds and play at other games. It's as if, we have to release our solar angels to do what they need to do and not always be importuning them, we've been told. Sorry for the interruption. The absent laws forget the worlds and play at other games. All passes into nothingness. Yet still the laws themselves remain. The mysterious laws of the fivefold force, another hint there, right? Connected with solar angels, unite their thought. In other words, time passes. All of these dots, there are 7 of them, 7 eternities. Time passes. The mysterious laws of the fivefold force unite their thoughts, sink into meditation deep, and link the first and third. The worlds emerge, and rushing into forms prepared, pursue their cycles. And more time passes, or at least something is left out here. The 12 pointed play their part, and the result of the communion of the one above the sun, and are the result of the communion of the one above the sun with one of the 7 wives. The monads are playing their part in the recreation here. And another section is left out, and time passes. The master of the Sacred Heart is he who builds a path between the sphere whereon his lot is cast and the great monastic orb. He builds it knowingly, calling in the aid of the points of blue. These emerge from the heart of one of the 7, the Pleiades. We're assuming maybe Maya, and from the heart center of Maya, perhaps. When time passed, the 12 pointed had played their part in recreating the solar system, but now there is the whole idea of the return. We're on the returning arc. These, the master, these he bloweth upon, and they find their place as stones in the one way he constructeth for the treading of the many, as they wend their way through mind to mind, and thence to understanding, and as it is inserted, manast mahat, and thence to buddhi. Oh, it really, I had never concentrated upon this with the attention it deserves. I still have not, okay, but it's at least is making more sense to me. And although he has said not much has been given, something has been given. And we know a little bit more about this path to Sirius. The 4th path on the way of higher evolution. All right, friends, I'm going to let it go here. So this will be, okay, let's find a way. Yes, we'll take up something more difficult coming up. End of Cosmic Fire Webinar Commentaries, number 26B, 26C, Path of Higher Evolution Compilation, page 111, and beginning of Esoteric Cosmic Fire Web Commentaries. I think we're in the 26s. 27A, Paths of Higher Evolution, Compilation, page 111. Let's see where we are. Going back just a little bit to make sure. Yeah, we're in 26s. Beginning 26B, and I suppose with the archaic stanzas, we should have, yeah, beginning, look what I've done. This is the end, this was 26B, I didn't write that in. So this is 26C. And now we have a double work to do here. We did this stanza, and so we're going to call the end of this stanza the end of 26C and the beginning of 27A. That is correct. All right, we'll see you before long. I would like to get these done while I'm warmed up during this period in which the Leo and Syrian influence is so very strong, with the first full moon in Leo and now the blue moon coming up in less than 2 days. So we'll see you before long. Bye-bye.